Hey baddies, Red here, back with another YouTube video. So based on this comment right here, I have been asked to an updated video on my piercings, which I'm going to do today, as well as go over aftercare and my overall healing process. I want to say that everybody's healing process and what they go through is different. So just because I say that something happened to me, it may not happen to you. Like, they say that with a lot of piercings, the possibility that you will keloid, but that is most commonly with ear piercings and bridges, which is what I originally wanted, but I didn't want to have to go through the keloiding process. Myself, I have never had a keloid with all of them, the piercings that I have, so I don't think that with necessarily all of them you can get a keloid, but it is a possibility. The other thing that I want to stress is just don't feel intimidated to contact your piercer. They are there to help you, and it's better than you freaking yourself out going online following these things when that isn't recommended for you to do. When I got my Snakebites and my Septum done, I contacted my piercer a couple of times because I was concerned and I had some issues that I wanted to get taken care of because, you know, nesting is a big thing, which I will get into that later in the video. But they shouldn't be bothered by you contacting them. That's the reason why they give you their number. And if they don't be afraid to just call up where you got pierced at, and the front office people should be able to help you. If they can't, they'll ask you who pierced you, and then you'll go from there. It's not all that complicated or that hard either. If they take a while to respond, just wait. They will get to you. Just remember that they have lives themselves, and eventually they will get back to you. I had contacted my lady, and one time she didn't get back to me within 2 weeks, but I ended up calling the front office anyway, and then she apologized afterwards. But just keep that in mind. I am wearing red contacts because I had to dress up for work. But anyways, the first piercing we're going to start off with is Snakebites. If you guys couldn't tell from the picture before, Snakebites are a double lip piercing that sits near the outer corners of the lower lip's edge. When you first go to get the piercing done, they will pierce you with a labret, which is like a long piece of jewelry, and then after 6 to 8 weeks, you can change it to a circular barbell or whatever you want to put in your lip. With the Snakebites, these piercings do nest, which means that the disc on the inside of your lip may start to sink in slightly. It is completely normal, and it is your body protecting your gum line and teeth. Nesting is mostly common in lip and tongue piercings as the oral tissue is soft. Nesting with these two types of piercings are completely different. So when you notice this, contact your piercer. Usually after you get your Snakebites done, they'll run you through the whole thing of, you know, you're going to have to come back 2 to 3 days to get the jewelry changed to either a bigger or a smaller bar, depending on how bruised you are when you go in. When I mention bruising, that is completely normal, basically like swelling. That does tend to happen with lip piercings. Actually, when you go in, depending on like how thick or big your lips are, they'll be like, oh, I'll pierce you with this size because you've got a bigger lip and I want to give you room to swell. Talk about aftercare. So with this piercing, you are going to use antibacterial soap. You are going to clean it twice a day, once in the morning and once before you go to bed. You're going to take the soap, rub it in between your fingers, and then rub around the piercing. Make sure your hands are clean. Do not clean your piercing with dirty hands. That is how you get an infection, honey. And after you soap it up with soap, you are going to clean it off with warm water and then apply saline spray, which you can buy from Hot Topic or from the piercing place. Also, my piercer told me not to play with my piercings as they are healing, but I've heard from other people that it is okay if you do so. So I'm just going to recommend that you don't play with it. I didn't play with my piercings. I still don't play with them now, even though that they're healed, just because I'm so afraid of getting an infection. But I guess do what you want. Don't do it though. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Here are some images of nesting. It is okay if it starts to nest. Don't be scared. Just contact your piercer and get on down there as soon as you can so they can change that jewelry out for you. I think I started off with a 14 gauge, then I moved to a 16. Then my skin was starting to like react weirdly to the jewelry, so they changed me to, I don't know if they did, but like to an 18 gauge. So the backs were bigger so it wouldn't get caught on my retainer, because I do wear a retainer because I used to have braces. Next up is the gorgeous Septum. Alrighty, so the Septum is the wall that divides the two nostrils. So it's a piercing in your nose. So with this piercing, aftercare wise, you're going to take the antibacterial soap, put it on your fingers, rub them, make sure your hands are clean, obviously. Stick both fingers up your nose and like rub the soap against the piercing. After you do that, take warm water, you know, flush it up your nose, and then you're going to take the saline spray. Don't put it directly in your nose like the nozzle, just especially if you're using it for other piercings. Then just squirt it up each side of the nose, and then you're done. You do that in the morning and then before you go to bed. And with my piercing, I don't know if this is with everybody's septum, but I had to specifically sleep with mine up. Your piercer will tell you if you do or do not have to. I'm pretty sure if they don't tell you, then don't worry about it. So to put the septum in your nose, there's actually some very helpful TikTok videos. I really like TikTok because like there's a lot of informational and helpful videos on there. So I'll include one that I use to help myself. So you make like a weird face, you stretch your face down, if this is like a good, I don't know, description, and then you just shove it in your nose, and then you take it out in the morning. And then if you have to hide it for school or sports or whatever, that is completely fine. It's not going to affect the healing process or anything. That's just something that you can do, and it's okay to do it while it's still healing. But it does hurt. When I had to stick my septum up my nose, it hurt a lot. It was actually very painful. I would cry sometimes because it was so sensitive. It is a very sensitive area. The nose is very sensitive, period. So just expect that, you know, pain wise putting it up, but don't let it scare you. Like I said, everybody is different. I may not have that high of a pain tolerance. I don't yeah. That's pretty much all you need to know for the aftercare of the septum. Up is an eyebrow piercing. An eyebrow piercing is a vertical surface piercing. And basically, so what they do is they put the lines on your face. They do it with the other piercings too, and then they ask you if the position is nice. You say yes or no, and they fix it. And so she clamps your skin, she takes the needle, she sticks it through the first dot, and then she holds the bottom of your eyebrow and aligns it with the other hole to make sure it's like even and straight down, and then she sticks you through. So technically with an eyebrow piercing you get stuck twice. I would say this was my second most painful piercing. The septum, y'all, that piercing hurt so bad. But as for aftercare for an eyebrow piercing, what you're going to do is you're going to take the saline spray, the antibacterial soap. You're going to take the soap, squirt it on your finger, rub it in between your fingers. You don't need a lot of soap. Then you're going to rub it around the piercing, the top and the bottom, around each ball, rinse it off with warm water, then take the saline spray, spray the top ball, spray the bottom ball, and then you're clean. So with this piercing, you can change it to a hoop. I'm not sure what it's called, but you cannot do that until it's finished healing. This piercing takes 4 to 8 weeks to heal, 6 to 8 weeks to heal. It just depends on you and the healing process. Your piercer will give you a estimated healing time, healing period, and then you can go from there, and then you can change your jewelry as you wish. This piercing does bruise. I bruised with my eyebrow piercing a lot. It was very bruised. It hurt. Like, it was a throbbing type of pain, but it wasn't like unbearable. I've officially had my piercing for 3 weeks. I got it September 18th. This is the actual video I used when I was struggling putting my septum up. I think this video is very helpful. I know there are people with different nose shapes, but just look up on TikTok how to put it up. Some of the videos I didn't like, so people with different nose shapes I didn't put on there because I didn't like how they showed you how to put it up. I don't know the correct way, but I just felt like this way looked more normal and natural rather than like pushing it all to one side and then putting it up. That didn't sit right with me, especially since I was shown a specific way. But this is a super helpful video. Credits to them, and here's their TikTok at the end. Follow my TikTok at RedDatBetty. Guys, well, that concludes today's YouTube video. I'm currently at school editing. This is like really weird. I have my Hot Topic lanyard, of course, because like I'm supposed to wear IDs. I had this big lecture today, but we won't talk about that. I was supposed to do like a cute little fit check. So, and I go to these rooms. Let me know if you have any questions. Just leave them down in the comment section below. I will respond to everybody as fast as I can. Just keep in mind I only have a septum, snake bites, and an eyebrow, so those are the only piercings that I know quite a bit about. And I also wanted to make this video because I had seen that there weren't a lot of recent videos about piercings, and I've noticed a lot of people are getting more piercings. So it'd be like really helpful if you just have like an insight of like somebody's opinion and what they went through, and like if you forget aftercare and don't want to call because you have like, you know, phone anxiety, you can just watch a YouTube video and don't have to deal with calling like, hey, I don't remember, and like thinking you're a burden or anything, but you're not a burden. Just contact your piercer. Remember, when in doubt, contact your piercer. Also, everything on the internet that you see is not necessarily true. Like literally not everything is true. So it's best to contact your piercer just with any questions you have. Yes, TikTok is helpful, but depending on how recent it is, like with me, I don't know a lot. Like I know some things, but not a lot of things. I can't like recite and tell you like everything that they told me because it's been a while. Almost had my septum and snake bites for like a year, well, in May, and then I just got this in September. So, you know, I'm just letting you guys know what I know. So just be aware with that with TikToks and stuff, because like, you know, it's a TikTok and has a lot of likes doesn't necessarily mean that it's a reliable video or a reliable source, unless I guess it's like a piercing page. But you guys get the memo. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, loves.